Hello, Divine Souls. We're here with our daily reading and starting with the organizing energy of Sisyphus as the Page of Cups. This is a little bit subversive, honestly. I really sat and thought on this one for a bit. This is a new deck for me, which is why we're playing with this in this way. But so Sisyphus, the story of him, right? In Greek mythology, he was the king of Corinth who cheated death twice. And so after doing that, after he was recaptured, because of cheating death twice and all the shenanigans he got up to, he was sentenced to an eternal punishment to push this huge boulder up a hill over and over just to have it roll back down again every time it neared the top. And so typically, the Page of Cups is usually about being like curious, idealistic, open to emotional discovery, like that kind of, youthful, idealistic emotional energy. It's like that first beginning of imagination, of compassion, of heartfulness. And here we have Sisyphus. So we can, I think, look through this lens and see this idea of being an eternal beginner today, always starting over, always getting to the truth of the heart, no matter how many times you repeat things. And this might have a little to do with sort of the mundane, the normal of life. We have that saying, right? Before enlightenment, carry water, chop wood. After enlightenment, carry water, chop wood. It's this idea that it doesn't really change, that emotional evolution comes in with an idea of spiritual transcendence, of learning how to begin anew, how to alchemize our experiences repeatedly and find the heart and the beginner's mind, making everything we do a new initiation. So seeing endless tasks, those things that we work on continually. And for so many of us, when we consider our spirit curriculum in this lifetime, we see the patterns that come back to us over and over and over. And it can feel so frustrating sometimes. Didn't I already work on this? Didn't I already sort this out? But the answer here is that this is what awakening is like. Endless tasks aren't punishment. They're a deepening, a spiraling, a practice into sort of cyclical devotion to our spirit, stripping away our ego, our arrogance, until what really remains is our core, our truth, our most authentic presence in the present day. And so it's this knowing that control can't actually substitute for connection, that intellect, that like thinking our way through things can't actually substitute for love and the relationships that we want to have. So how here can we look today at really embracing beginner's mind, no matter what's coming up, even if it might be something that feels like repetition, that's just frustrating and difficult. Like, I've been here, I thought I was done with this, but here we are starting a cycle anew. Here we are again. Can I be humble? Can I approach my heart as a student? Can I even find joy in the chore? Can I find and allow joy in endings and new beginnings? So the world card jumped out, and I'm going to pull. Pardon me. This is interesting. Okay. So we've had these two of these cards this week previously. And of course, we're starting a new week here. So we have the world, the wheel, and then death and rebirth. So with the world, we see endings of cycles. And with the wheel, we see sort of that turning of our karma, that allowing the actions I've already taken to spin into what is new, to allow sort of it's that transition space and time in between what I've done and what's coming next on my journey. Remembering that the major arcana is an arc all the way through the traditional hero's journey. We start as the fool, as the youthful innocent. We go through the many, many steps of self-development and journey until we get to the world where we begin again. And we see here, so we have the world, this ending of the cycle, this movement. It can symbolize completion. It can even mean travel sometimes. In this case, I think we're seeing here, though, this reflection of this story of Sisyphus that, there's something I thought was complete. There's something I thought I was done with, but here I am in that cycle. But do you see, I need to pull the little camera up. Okay, so I can see what you see. Do you see her here in her face? So here we are on the wheel, and the wheel is constantly turning and cycling. And look at these two cards together, right? In the wheel, on the wheel. But do you see how they both are filled with joy? They're not trapped. They're not stuck. They're not suffering. They're allowing. They are embracing the full energy of the universe, the full energy of the day, the full connection of my spirit's curriculum, the lessons that I chose to incarnate to learn in this lifetime. And I'm allowing that's actually going to include all of this repetition. That's going to include multiple cycles and spirals of stripping away the defenses I've built up, the ideas I've built up, this notion of a static identity. What is a static identity? It's not real. Identity is just a series of stories that we tell ourselves. So it's this movement through this allowing of that. And then we come here to death and rebirth. And I love this imagery in the Light Seers Tarot of death and rebirth so much, because an ending is always a beginning. Destruction always precedes creation. And so this story, right? The end of Sisyphus, he's like, I've pushed this boulder up this hill one more time. And what does it do? It rolls back down. Now, is this punishment or is this opportunity? That's all about the way you choose to see it, isn't it? When we look at our lives, when we look at the opportunities that come in, we can see cycles and repetition as punishment, as stuckness, or we can choose to recognize and invite in the opportunity to really learn more deeply. As the person I am now, I'm not the same person I was the last time this cycle came up. I'm not the same person I was the last time I encountered this particular type of resistance, this particular thought pattern, or potentially heart pattern, this emotional pattern, given that we're starting with the Suit of Cups, right? So how can I find humility and a willingness to learn, a willingness to die and be reborn again inside my own emotional world, inside whatever the particular pattern is that's coming up for us right now, so that I am stripping away my preconceived ideas until all that remains is truth and presence. And that's actually what we really are. If we lose all of our story, if we lose all of our notions, what we have left is the truth of my soul, the truth of my spirit, without all of those defense mechanisms. And so this is learning through repetition and allowing also that the grief, the tenderness that we experience in these cycles, until we let ourselves fully feel them, until we allow ourselves to be absolutely present and compassionate with ourselves and the experience of both the larger journey of my life. And these are larger journey ideas we're playing with. Once again, all major arcana today. We haven't been getting very much minor arcana, so these are big patterns, especially here we are in October. We're approaching Samhain. We are approaching Halloween, All Hallows Eve, this time of year when the veil is thinnest between the worlds, right? And we're having these major arcana concepts coming up and saying, are you ready? Are you ready to step forward? Are you ready to, like the snake? We're in the year of the Yinwood snake, and it is our job or our opportunity this year to shed what doesn't serve. So are you willing to shed it? Are you willing to let it go so that you can have the rebirth that's waiting on the other side? Let's get one Moonology card. to go with this. Oh, yeah. Know you are loved. Know you are loved, divine souls. The new moon in Libra, which coincidentally I think is actually on Tuesday, the 21st. I'm not sure if it's a new moon or full moon. I'll have to double check that. But one of the aspects is in Libra this week. Know that you are loved. So, whatever this piece is that is continuing to come around and that's really showing up for you again today, I want to just encourage you to know that this isn't punishment. Our struggle is from great universal love for our soul. It is love that made us choose to be incarnated, a great big spirit, and a tiny human body in this life. It is love that has us going through the particular types of development and growth and struggle that we signed up for in this lifetime. And know that you are loved. You are loved by spirit. You are loved by your allies, guides, guardians, angels, your ancestors who are standing behind you and before you in this great line of love and support and power as you do the work that you signed up for. As you do this curriculum, this learning, and this task, this ancient, repetitive task of spirit and of emotion that you chose to come in and do, not just for you, but for all of us, because we are interconnected the same way that trees are not solo organisms, right? A tree is actually connected to all the trees around it. It's a series of roots. It's one giant meta-organism, and we're the same. We are the same in many, many ways. So know that whatever task it is you have taken on for yourself as an individual and for all of us together, you are so very, very loved. And it's possible for you to do. It is worth doing. So I encourage you just to remember and look at whatever's feeling repetitive, whatever's feeling stuck. It's not punishment, my friends. It is an opportunity into transformation, into being your heart's apprentice and re-educating yourself, decolonizing your mind out of this patriarchal structure into a place of true integration through these cycles, allowing completion, allowing the balance, that flow where you do not have to push or force or strive, but what is for you will come to you. What is meant is going to be. Death brings rebirth. Every ending brings the next beginning. And know inside of that, know that you are deeply loved. I hope this has been helpful for you today, my loves. If it has been, if you want to claim any part of this message, I do want to ask if you could pop a like down there so that folks can start finding my channel that I've just gotten going. And thank you so much for being here. I love you very much, and I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? All right, bye-bye.